All right, my friends, what is up? How is your week going so far? It's Tuesday. We have another episode going down the betting board. Quick little housekeeping from last tournament, Bermuda Championship. We didn't really have anyone in the mix. It wasn't the best week for us. We kind of got tee times, if you know what I'm saying. I stacked tee times the wrong way, and I didn't really do it on purpose because when I was looking at the weather, it seemed like it was going to be pretty fair based on the tee times. Then it just didn't turn out that way. We picked too many guys from the morning wave, and it just didn't work itself out. I feel like if Mark Hubbard was in the late wave, we would have had a really, really good chance because he shot like a 74 on day one, and came back the next day with like a 63 or 64, and fell a little short. Seamus Power finished 12th. We had him, but besides that, it wasn't really a great week. It was the first week we didn't really have anyone in the mix. So looking to rebound, get back into it this week, pick another winner, and we still are not in the United States. We are in Mexico with no shot link. Great. We head to El Camaleon Mayacoba Golf Course in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Sorry if I said that wrong, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm excited for this week. It should be a fun week. I actually coming. I hit Victor there last year, so it's a little bit like a special event for me. I love defending. So yeah, let's get right into this. What do we know about this course? This is one of the most first shot courses as they come. Obviously, every week approaches a key stat, but there's a lot of fairway hazards off the tee. So we're gonna look for accurate hitters off the tee, similar to what we looked for last week, but that turned out to be you could bomb it, and I knew that because if you look at the last two-year Bermuda Championship winners, not winners, well, winners Brendan Todd and Brian Gay, but like runner-ups Wyndham Clark, and there was other bombers right there. So you don't need to be. Everyone got too into the accurate narrative, which obviously helps, and you want to have accurate guys, but there's other ways to go about winning, and some of the bombers did better last week. So it is what it is. But this week I'm going back to the accurate guys because I really think that's more important this week. There's literally like an actual cave in the middle of the fairway. I'll try to pull up a picture of it before we get into the betting board. Mayacoba cave bunker. All right. Yeah, this is literally, hope you guys can see this. This is literally in the middle of one of the fairways at Mayacoba. So yeah, you want to be accurate. You don't want to be in there. Let's get right into this. Let's get into the betting board. And we have JT, Abe, Vic is basically the top three. Abe opened at 27-1 on FanDuel, and he's down to 15-1 at FanDuel now, which is absurd. I love Abe. Like, I love him. He modeled out for me. What was he in my model? He was third in my model, and man, if I could have gotten that 27-1, I probably would have been there. He's going to be very popular this week, and I'm kind of scared of him when he's very popular, but he makes so much sense. He's a very accurate player. He's just obviously a shorter hitter. That's what he does, and he's an accurate player. This course fits so well for him. He's in Mexico, where he's from. There's no argument for Abe. And if you have a 27-1 ticket, good for you. I wish I got on it, but I was a little late to doing my research. But I knew I liked him anyway. I should have jumped on it. I didn't think he'd move as much as he did. So yeah, Abe should be an awesome play. He has great course history. But I'm not going to be on him because I can't bet that 15-1. And so, but maybe it's a blessing because I don't see this course being this tournament being like a top guy wins it. Like it's not like we saw at Zozo, the cream rises to the top. This is a cut event. Like a top guy, obviously they can win it, but I don't think this is going to be a guaranteed guy from the top wins this, and then it's a case. So it's not betting Abe is allowing me to get more names, so maybe it'll be a blessing. What is up, BK? Can't wait for your show later. All right, so let's get into my first play. My first play is Tony Fenow. Why do I like Tony Fenow? He actually modeled out for me pretty well. He was 7th in my model. I saw a stat that in the last few years, ranking all the players on seaside courses, he ranked 6th in that list. But I don't really see this course being too much of a seaside course because there's a few holes that are on the water, but this course goes into like the jungle, goes into the trees. It's not the most seaside courses as like of the seaside courses, but yes, that does help. And why do I like Tony Finau? He is 15th in total driving, which is awesome. Obviously, you guys know his distance. He's one of the longer hitters on tour, but look at the driving accuracy percentage. 66%, which is very good. 35th on the PGA Tour. That's awesome. So if he's finding fairways at like the same 65% rate as the next guy who's like 36th on the list, but he's that much further, that gives him a great advantage. And let's look at his course history. I thought this was really interesting from Finau. Let's pull up all the Mayakobas. And again, shout out Rick for letting me use his site. He does not care if it's on camera. Here we go. Tony Finau has been to Mayakoba 5 times. And let's look at this order. T7, cut. T16, cut. T8. So this is saying that he's going to miss the cut. And honestly, I thought this was different. That's kind of why I went into it. But let alone, he's got great course history. And I think this is a better field. So I think maybe the cream will rise to the top. And he's the highest guy I grabbed. So yeah, I do think Tony Finau will have good success here. And another narrative thing I like was Tony Finau first win came in Puerto Rico. So did Victor's. And Victor, his next win was at Mayakoba. Next win was at Mayakoba. Obviously, Finau won at the Northern Trust. But Puerto Rico to Mayakoba, maybe he can do the same thing, Puerto Rico to Mayakoba. So yes, that is my first play. It is on Tony Finau. I got him at 30-1 at FanDuel, I believe. Yep, FanDuel. All right, let's move down looking at some of these other names. Koepka 33-1. If you're betting that, like, okay, you're betting the number. The stats are he's not in the best form, but you're betting the number. It makes sense. No one will argue. You bet the number at Waste Management, you cashed. You're betting the number at 33-1 on Victor in this field. Okay, I'm not personally betting it, but I get it. I definitely get why you would bet Brooks Koepka at 33-1 in a field like this. I'm not going to do it, but I'm not hating you if you do it. Personally, I don't think he will do well because you guys know Brooks. He might be posting on Instagram with Jenna. They're at the beach or they're at the resort. I heard from my friend John, PGA Tout, that he's been here. He only good things. He said this place is immaculate. So I'm sure Brooks Koepka is there to have a good time and play some golf on the side. But yeah, Scotty Scheffler, I put him on my every week. I do like a short list of guys that I might want to bet, but like without looking at any stats. So let's look at Scotty Scheffler, and I'm going to tell you right now, I did not bet him, and I'll show you what turned me off. Well, first, he didn't model out for me at all. But why didn't I like Scotty Scheffler? Driving accuracy percentage, 53% is what ranks 178th in driving accuracy. Look, you got to hit the fairways. And he does have a T18 in his only start at Mayakoba 2 years ago, but it's just not doing it for me. And this is just this year, no. But his numbers aren't great right now. I'll take the Mayakoba off. Hold on, let's look at his numbers. And I do like Scotty. I think he's going to win sooner than later. Look at what he did his last start off the tee, which is going to be huge this week. -6, but all the green before. And I'm sure he'll get back to like his baseline or at least close to it. I don't see him losing 6 strokes off the tee again. But I just can't trust that right now. And especially this losing strokes approach, there's nothing that is getting me on Scotty. Like, there's just nothing. So we'll move on. Aaron Wise. Boy, does he make sense. Let's look at Aaron Wise. But a 33-1 Aaron Wise is crazy. But at the end of the day, a 33-1 Aaron Wise, like, he's 33-1 for a reason. Look at this form. He is just hitting the hell out of the ball. And he finally figured out the putter this season, which has been his thing. He switched to the broomstick. Look at all this red. Now, bang, he's putting the ball. Let's look at his Mayakoba history, which is solid. No, he finished second last year. So which one is that? Which one is that? There we go. 10th cut second. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love Aaron Wise. Yep, Brian. The number is that for a reason. I'm not betting it. I did not bet it. I couldn't fit him. He didn't model out for me great. He does make sense. Great form, course history, makes sense. Personally, I didn't bet a 33-1 Aaron Wise, but I get it. I really do get it. So, shit, didn't mean to do that. Oh, fuck. I turned the Here we go. All right. Let's go to my next bet. I don't really bet this guy a lot, but I bet Tyrrell Hatton at 35-1 for my second play. Why do I like Tyrrell Hatton? Let's pull up his stuff. He was 11th in my model, which is solid. Modeled out for me. You don't need to be the first in the model for me to take you. Come on, type it. All right, I have to reset this. He was 11th in my model. He was first on that Seaside course list I was talking about with Fenow, which makes sense. He's from England. He plays in some difficult conditions, plays in wind. So yeah, that makes sense. He is 8th in total driving, which I will pull up and get deeper into, but I wrote it down. He's 8th in total driving. Total driving is distance and accuracy combined into one stat. So, and like I said, this is a first shot course. Is he like not exist? Hatton. There we go. I spelled it wrong. That's why. Okay. Yeah. 8th in total driving. That's awesome. That is awesome. Look at this driving accuracy, 71.43%. We're talking fairways here, guys. We need fairways. We're talking fairways. If he's hitting 71% of fairways, hell yeah. Give me that. He's a gainer in the approach. Great putter. It's awesome. The thing that was a little shaky was these past two starts off the tee, 3 and 4. But what let me get back on him was he has other starts in Europe, which aren't counted on here, and they were solid. So, yeah, I'm going back to Hatton, and he's not going to be very popular. And I'm big at being contrarian in golf betting, especially in the outright market. I don't play DFS. I'm big on being contrarian because obviously the obvious guy never wins. And if you look at my past winners list, some of them are like random. I hit winners at random events. I don't hit the obvious winners. So, yeah. Hatton won't be very popular, and I do like his numbers, and I think he will play well, and I also used him in one and done. But I do think there is better one and done plays, but I already used one. So we'll move down the board a little bit. I'm not going to talk about Sobel's Shane Lowry, but I will talk about one of my favorite plays this week, and it's really, really scary that I'm going to say this. I'm not even going to say his name because he's on this list, and I'm going to start typing his name in so you guys can laugh when I type it in. You guys are probably laughing right now. You're laughing at me. It doesn't even let me type it because I can't spell. There we go. This might be my favorite play this week, and it's what am I getting myself into? Russell Henley was I took him off my blacklist at the beginning of this season. I bet him once, and he didn't fucking do good because he's Russell Henley. But yes, Russell Henley was blacklisted for me all of last season for a good reason. But why do I like Russell Henley this week? He was on my short list, my no research short list. I thought he made sense going into this week. Then when you look in his numbers, look at him in the model, it's ridiculous. First in my model, first in driving accuracy percentage, 77% of fairways, 76.79% of fairways. That is insane. First in approach to the green, and he gives it all away putting. But there's a big but, and you guys know where I'm going with this. We're playing on paspalum greens, which are supposed to be the easiest greens to putt on, and supposed to let the putters who aren't great, like Russell Henley, kind of evens the playing field with the putter. It makes the good putters will do good anywhere, but the bad putters will get a little boost, and that is awesome. So Russell Henley, I don't need him to gain 5 strokes putting. I need him to be a 0 putter. I need him to gain a stroke putting. And if he could do that, we are in business, because the ball striking isn't really in question for me at Russell Henley. Not even the ball striking, the accuracy, just like the overall tee to green play. The thing that I'm a little bit nervous, he has some shaky course history, but at the end of the day, course history versus form is 2 different ways to look at it. And looking back at his form, the last time he's played some of these events, they weren't the greatest, but he's in some good form right now. He also was second in approach at CJ Cup and second in approach from a year ago today in this entire field. So yeah, Russell Henley makes sense. He's probably my favorite play this week, and I was gonna go off him because I saw a few other guys tip him, but I couldn't. He was on my short list. He modeled out for me in two separate ways. Like, I just can't, especially 50-1. I had allocation for that, so yes. And he would have been my one and done this week, but I already used him, and I don't remember where I used him, but I love Henley this week. You're gonna look so stupid because he's gonna miss the cut because he's fucking Russell Henley. Moving on. I love you, Russell Henley. I'm sorry for talking shit about you. Taylor Gooch was on my short list, but I don't love the driver. And this is a driver course. I don't love the driver. Will Zalatoris, my favorite golfer, he can't get to -20. I say it every single time. Will Zalatoris in a Brody Fest. He's not built for this. He's not built for this style of golf. Cameron Tringale, I also don't think he's built for this style of golf. He's a fairway green guy. I like him more in difficult conditions. Joaquin Niemann's down to 40-1 in some spots. He was tipped at 60 a lot. He's the most popular play this week so far. Mito, I was choosing between Mito and Russell Henley as my last play. Mito was 8th in my model, or 9th in my model, but I'm kind of done with Mito for now, at least. He has good Mexico form. He played really well at Mexico in his Corn Ferry event, but I don't want to bet Mito for a 4th time already this year. So let's scroll down to my next play. And if I see anyone else, okay, real quick, I love Maverick McNeely. You guys know I love Maverick McNeely. I think this is a good spot for him. What's Maverick McNeely's game? Driver, putter. Same as Rory McIlroy. I say it all the time. And I said I love the driver putter at was that CJ Cup? Driver putter, Rory won. Losing strokes and approach. I know what I'm talking about, guys. Maverick McNeely makes sense, but I couldn't get to him. All right, we'll go to my next play. They're all on this list. We'll go to Kevin Shulman first. Do I love that I'm betting Kevin Shulman? Not at all. He was 10th in my model, and I'll show you what kind of got me on Kevin Stroman. Besides modeling out, this right here. And it's just this right here. 72% of fairways. That's really damn good. And if off the tee fairways gained is as important as it should be this week, that will give Stroman an advantage. He's in some shaky form right now, but he has a T4 here in his career. It's just the accuracy. I'm not trying to sell you on Kevin Stroman. It's just the accuracy that's leading me on him. And I got him at 80-1 at DraftKings to fill out the card. And you guys know how I roll. Outrights only. I find the guys where I could risk 5 units to bring back 35U. I have no problem fitting an 80-1 Kevin Stroman on my card. Let's move down. Actually, kind of move up because I got someone. My next play is Emiliano Grillo. And I talked about last week how I didn't want to bet Grillo because I already bet him twice the first 2 weeks of the season. I didn't want to bet Grillo 3 times in the first 2 months of the season. But I'm back on him here. Sorry, had a long weekend. Flew down to Florida, so I'm feeling it. But I'm here. It's all right. Grillo was 4th in my model. He's a course horse. He has a great course history here. Let's pull him up. Grillo. And also, he's a coastal guy. I always talk about you can only play Grillo at coastal spots, and we're in Mexico. We're near a beach. That's enough for me to bet Grillo, but there's actually more than just that. I'm kidding. Here we go. Look at these numbers at Mayakoba for Grillo. 8th, 41st, 15th, 9th, 10th. He's never once lost strokes on this golf course to the field. Amazing ball striking form as well. And what is Grillo's game? Strike the hell out of the ball and miss every damn putt. Same thing as Henley. We're on Paspalum. And I was watching Rick's video earlier. He broke down the field just on Paspalum greens. And the weird thing about that is you can't look at strokes gained putting because usually these are resort courses in Mexico, like this place or in wherever, but it's places that we don't have shot link. And in those events, Grillo has never once lost strokes in his 40 rounds playing. 40 rounds was probably 10 tournaments. Never have once lost strokes playing on Paspalum greens, whether that's strokes gained tee to green, whether that's strokes gained putting, which is probably a little bit of both. He's never once lost strokes. He averages 2 strokes a round gained on the field playing at courses with Paspalum greens. That is amazing. And with this course history, with him modeling out, it wasn't hard for me to go back to Grillo. Coastal Grillo. I hope he's in the mix on this weekend because I think he will. If I had to pick one person to win, it'd probably be Coastal Grillo because he's just a fun person to root for. All right, we'll move down to my next bet. My next bet is Seamus Power. I got him 75-1, as you see here at FanDuel. Why did I bet Seamus Power? I was on him last week at Bermuda, and I said going into this week, I want to at least bet someone from last week's card on this card. Maybe I was a week early on him because I went heavy with the accuracy vibe last week. I want to keep going. I was thinking about betting the same card, but that would be dumb. See, he doesn't have the best tournament. He doesn't have the best course history, but look at this driving accuracy percentage. That's really, really, really good. Seamus Power has a complete game. He's a gainer driving accuracy. He's a gainer approach. He's a good putter. He's just a good player all around. He didn't have his best stuff last week. He didn't have the best tee time split last week, and he still finished 12th. So yeah, I really like Seamus Power. I want to go back to him, and it was between Mito or Seamus, who I can go back to based on my last week's card. I chose Power. I think he's a more complete golfer. Let's scroll down. My next play, or who else I want to talk about? Russell Knox. He's a course horse. Makes a lot of sense. Pat Rogers was right in it last week. If you want to draw accuracy comparison, not accuracy comparison. He's not accurate. Comparisons from Bermuda to Mayakoba. Pat Rogers might be a nice play this week. Here's my next play. It's not Charlie Hoffman. I'm sorry. It's Joel Damon. I got him 100-1 at 100-1 at DraftKings, I believe. Yeah, because DraftKings is not on this odds checker list. 100-1 at DraftKings. By the way, I fit 9 players on my card this week. Shopping around books is how you have to do it. Why do I like Joel Damon? He was on my short list going into this week. Just he's a resort course guy. He won at Corrales. He plays good at these resort courses. So yeah, he was 9th in my model. Resort course guy, and he has some good course history. Let's look at his course history. T20, T6, T41, T23. Has never lost strokes here. Makes sense. Last week, he gained 6.79 strokes tee to green and lost putting. But we're on a surface where, see, he's not the best putter. He's ranked 74th. He's not the best putter. We're on a surface that these bad putters can boost themselves up. So, yeah, Joel Damon, 100-1 was my 7th play. I have 2 more plays we will get into. Anyone else I like here? No. Pat Perez, Paspalum specialist, resort course specialist. Makes sense. Don't like him. Here we go. Ches Reavie. I got him 110-1 on a local. Let's dive in to Ches Reavie, or Shea Reve, as they like to call him. He is in shaky form. I'll definitely admit he is in shaky form. He was 6th in my model, and look at he's an accurate driver. Anyone in the 60% of driving accuracy that's pretty solid. That is pretty solid. And he's 9th in approach, which is really, we didn't expect him to be 9th in approach, but he's a good bucket player. He's a good wedge player. I like Reeve. He's a losing putter, but I do like Ches Reeve. He also has a T2 here, a T14 here, and a T4, I believe. Yeah. So he has some solid. When he does good, when he gains, he's doing well here. So yeah, I like Ches Reeve. I got him 110 to 1, kind of more of like a bet the number type thing. But yeah, I do like Ches Reeve because since I didn't go with Answer and someone else at the top, I wanted to go with Bombs because, like I said, I don't think this is necessarily going to be a cream rise to the top, a favorite wins type event. It's a resort course. It's a birdie fest. I think I want to go with more darts than anything else. And my last play, I will get off of the odds checkerboard because I don't want to scroll that far down. I tweeted out, does anyone have access to Unibet or Sugar House? My last play is Trey Mullinax. Probably never even heard of him. He's 29 years old, Alabama grad, came from the Corn Ferry Tour. He finished 4th at Sanderson Farms, I believe. And what's his game? Driver putter. Maverick McNeely build, Roy build. He's not the most accurate driver per se, but he's a career gainer off the tee. He's gonna gain on the field off the tee, and he's gonna putt the ball. I think that's how you have to attack this place. He was first in off the tee at Sanderson, and he is 6th off the tee in this past year, based on guys in this field with qualified rounds. So yeah, 350 to 1. I had literally 0.1 units left of allocation on the week, and I got him at 350 to 1. And that 0.1 unit returns 35 units because he's 350 to 1. So I filled out a 9-man card. I'll go through it again real quick so you guys can all right, I'll go through it again. Tony Fenow 30 to 1. Terrell Hatton 35 to 1. Russ Henley 50 to 1. Seamus Power 75 to 1. Emiliano Grillo 75 to 1. Kevin Stroman 80 to 1. Joel Damon 100 to 1. Ches Reeve 110 to 1. Trey Mullinax 350 to 1. All of those bets are set up to return 35 units. I'm only risking 5 units. Same model every single week. It's been working for me. I hope it continues to work. It will continue to work. Good luck to everyone this week. If you have any questions, DM me. I will release the card on Twitter either tonight or early tomorrow morning. Let's have a week, my friend.